Well, they used to tell me that there's no way. Hey, well, that's just like telling me there's more ways. Stumbling blocks, I use mistakes. There's a million of them, there's only one of me. And I'm so glad that now you see.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to LinkedIn 101, the spot to connect as young professionals on your early but soon to be amazing career journey. I'm Elle Indigo, a senior events project manager, AKA your partner, your fam, and guide to get the goods on rocking your career. If you've joined us before, you already know what's up. Last episode, we walked through setting goals and simple ways to learn and showcase your skills, because skills are the future. Now today, we're taking it a step further and digging into how to find a job if you have limited experience. It could be your first job or a pivot to a new job. How do you stand out to recruiters? What the heck are transferable skills and how can they help you? Of course, we're also going to talk about how to use your network. To get the vibes going, we're hitting up my guy, Joel, who has lived through all of this. He has a solid perspective on rejection. So let's do this, Joel.
Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Joel and I am second gen Puerto Rican, queer, and autistic. And guess what? I found my first job through LinkedIn. I submitted 50 plus applications and finally got one final round interview. That one recruiter had reached out to me and they told me that I was missing one skill for the role, and they canceled my final interview. That really bummed me out. I didn't know if this new career thing was ever gonna happen to me. Now I'm gonna show you how I took my narrative from a big L to a big dub. I started networking with people on LinkedIn to learn more about the design skills that I was supposedly missing. And that led to a lot of coffee chats. People gave me advice on how to develop skills I needed, and they even gave me interview prep tips. But their number one tip was to start promoting my skills and tell my story on LinkedIn. And so I gave my profile a glow up. I updated my banner, I flexed some creativity there, added in what I wanted people to know about me in my headline, and I added my top 5 skills here. Highlighted what I can bring to the table from my past internships, highlighted projects that I created, and added a little description on what I did. And lastly, I became unapologetically me. And within a couple of months, a recruiter on LinkedIn reached out to me. They told me my profile stood out, they saw my value, and they thought I would be a good fit for a role that they had. And I got my first job. Don't let a rejection kill your vibe. Rejections are not personal. They're just a part of the process. This is my story and this legit happened to me. And it can happen for you too. Hope this helps. Peace. Here's a little spicy recap. Network with professionals. Add skills to your profile. Share your story.
Y'all, don't ever let rejections kill your vibe. It's really nothing personal, and it's all a part of the journey. Joel, you are speaking the truth. Now, in the next 25 minutes, we're gonna dive into all of this, starting with our very own emerging talent recruiter, AKA the truth speaker, the gem dropper. Let me not mess up the title. Charlie Doria. We're diving into his knowledge on career direction and how to discover skills that y'all may not even know that you have. But before we get started, y'all go ahead and connect with each other in the chat. Do not be shy. Feel free to flex those networking skills that we've been talking about and practicing together. Remember, this is our community, and networking is a great way to create meaningful connections and some new opportunities. Also, if you have questions for Charlie, please drop them in the chat, and we promise we're gonna get to them. Charlie, my guy.
What's going on? So excited to be here. Thank you.
I'm so glad you are here. So, we're gonna jump into the questions because they are itching to hear from you.
Let's do it.
First question, believe it or not, I'm a recent grad, searching for my first job. Do you have any tips on how to get started?
Yes, I do. Getting started is super easy. And the first step, you really want to map out the career direction you want to take. Are you looking for a full-time role, a part-time role, or an internship? What about the size of the company? What size company do you want to work for? Or what industry do you want to be a part of? After that, you want to make sure you build out some key components of your LinkedIn profile. I'm talking about your profile picture, your headline, your about section, and your experience section. And after that, you're pretty much ready to start your job searching journey. Go ahead and navigate over to our job search tool, and you can start looking for some opportunities that interest you.
Charlie, you throw a lot of info.
You got a lot of info. You want me to run it back? I'll run it back.
What would be your biggest, the biggest thing that you've seen has been most impactful on like updating your profile to start?
Yeah, so I think the first part is like what really is, do some soul searching, do some reflecting, like what really grabs your attention, what are you passionate about? And from there you can kind of articulate your profile in a way that conveys that you're like ready for that new role or you're gonna be a great fit for that role that you're really looking for. So I would say do a little bit of reverse engineering, figure out what your end destination is, and then build your profile to help you get to that goal.
I love that. So like putting titles like aspiring engineer intern, like those things are okay.
Totally, of course, because then other people who see your profile are gonna be like, hey, they're an aspiring X, Y, or Z. I wanna go ahead and connect with them, maybe share their experience. That's a really great way for you to also connect with folks in those roles. You already kind of are bridging that gap and are able to reach out to them because you both have something in common.
Yes, love that. Okay, now if I don't have much professional experience, how should I start filling out my profile?
Yeah, so first and foremost, Elle, I will be the first one to tell you, you do have experience. Everybody watching.
Say it again, y'all have experience.
Everybody has experience, and the great part about experience, it comes in all different shapes and sizes. Did you maybe work at the snack shack at your summer softball game last summer? Were you a part of an academic project? Or maybe you volunteered at an animal shelter? Or I know, Elle, you've been documenting a YouTube journey of your cooking journey. All of those different examples show that you do have experience and the skills that go along with it. Recruiters and hiring managers love seeing those experiences and skills on your LinkedIn profile as it really tells your holistic professional story. One way you can also really enhance that professional story is by receiving recommendations. Quick tip for those recommendations, go ahead and identify someone that maybe you've worked with in the past or a current colleague, supervisor, or peer, and reach out to them. Let them know like, hey, I'm looking to receive a recommendation on my LinkedIn profile. Can you go ahead and highlight maybe this project we worked on together or this skill or professional strength I want to highlight on my profile? Another pro tip for those recommendations. If someone is maybe really busy or has a lot on their plate, you can offer to give them a couple bullet points, get those creative juices flowing.
Okay, so like cue it up for them.
Kind of cue it up for them a little bit, but that might not work for everyone. So definitely have that clear line of communication with whoever you're asking for that recommendation from. See what works best for them, and really you just want to make that process as frictionless as possible.
You know, speaking of the recommendations, right, that you were talking about at the bottom page, I was thinking, prepping for this show, talking to you, you know, oftentimes like in our day-to-day or we're doing a project, someone may give you your flowers and be like, wow, you really did X, Y, and Z, you executed this gracefully. Could you ask that person like, hey, if I sent you a request, could you just copy and paste that to a recommended and put that like on the bottom of my profile?
Yeah, I think that's a really great way you could get that recommendation. Again, it's already kind of teed up. And then if there's anything else you want them to highlight, don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. Share with them what you want to highlight on your profile, especially if you're trying to pivot into a new role. Maybe you're trying to show off those transferable skills. So don't be afraid to advocate for yourself, but I really love that strategy. Really good way to get that recommendation on your profile.
And speaking of transferable skills, what you talked about earlier about the snack shack and the YouTube channel, that's what you're referring to with transferable skills, right?
Transferable skills are going to be these portable skills you'll take with you from job to job, experience to experience, and they can be hard skills or soft skills, but I think we're going to dive into that a little later.
We're going to dive in. We're going to get on into it. Okay. Okay, so why are adding skills so important to the profile?
Yeah, so adding skills is so important to being added to your LinkedIn profile because your profile is going to be one of the first places employers are going to go to learn more about you. The more relevant skills you add to your profile on LinkedIn, the more relevant skill matches you're also going to have. So the more relevant skills on your profile, the more relevant jobs you're going to be matched with.
Skills matching.
Matches.
Gotcha.
So build it out, add those skills. We already know that you have them. And then on top of that, hires on LinkedIn use a tool called LinkedIn Recruiter. and LinkedIn Recruiter has special keyword filters for experiences and skills. So the more built out your profile is, the more likely you're going to be visible in those searches, and that's really what we want. We want that visibility on our profile.
That's algorithm working in our favor.
Of course, and on top of that, it's not just about like putting those skills on your profile. Let's take it like one step further and talk about the impact you have by using those skills.
Tell me more.
75% of hirers globally think the context of how you use the skill is just as important as the skill itself.
Oh, yes.
So
yeah.
super important, and I have a really amazing and simple framework I want to share with you so you can communicate clearly and concisely your skills and the impact you had with those skills, and that's going to be called the XYZ framework. I wish I made it up myself.
Wait a minute, XYZ.
XYZ framework.
Okay, we got it.
Super simple, and here's how you can adopt it. So I achieved X as measured by Y by performing Z.
Oh, Lord, math was not my strong
Want me to try it one more time?
Yes, run that
So
back
yes,
one more time.
I achieved X as measured by Y by doing Z. And say I was going to use that to relate to my own experience. I used to work at a Nike store in a customer service role. I could use that XYZ framework to say, I accomplished an increase in our store's NPS or Net Promoter Score as measured by our customer service surveys by providing a world-class experience to every customer who walked through our doors.
Oh, you made that sound really easy.
And the best part is anybody else can do that too. Follow that XYZ framework. You can use it not only on your LinkedIn profile, on your resume, but also in job interviews. That XYZ framework, if there's one thing you take away today, take that away.
This is a recruiter telling you this. Okay, and you didn't make it up, so they can Google it if they forgot.
They can Google it. Yeah, I wish I created it. If I did, that'd be pretty amazing.
You said it here, so you created a buzz here.
TM, registered trademark.
All right, let's go on to the next question. What is the best way to show my skills on my profile?
Yeah, so there are going to be a lot of different sections you can add skills to your profile. And again, super important to add these skills so recruiters and hiring managers get a holistic view of your experiences. First place is going to be our skills section. You can go ahead and tag your hard skills and soft skills, but there are a couple other spots you can also add skills. Like your experience section, use that X, Y, and Z framework we just talked about there.
Right.
Your about section where you have top skills. These are going to be your elevator pitch skills, the ones that are really going to differentiate you from other people, ones you really want to showcase.
Yeah.
You also have your education section and the project section. So in the project section, say you're a photographer, you can link out to a website or your portfolio and tag your hard skills such as Adobe Photoshop, or maybe soft skills like communication or collaboration. Within all of those different sections though, definitely remember your transferable skills. Again, these are going to be skills that are going to transfer with you from experience to experience, and some examples of those on the soft skills side are going to be like leadership, communication, collaboration, and then for those hard skills, maybe Adobe Photoshop or coding. Don't forget to add those transferable skills.
Nice. So for maybe, let's talk about our students. Could they put like class projects, or even folks who maybe, aren't in the school realm, could they put volunteering projects in that section as well?
I love that idea. Yeah, you
Okay.
could definitely add those. Anything that you were a part of that you want to highlight on your profile. Again, tell that professional story. Definitely don't be afraid to add those academic projects there as well.
Right, because it showcases all those skills.
All of your skills, yes.
We need to play a game. Drop like a heart in the chat. Every time we say skills, and get the chat is going to be buzzing.
So many hearts.
Okay, so next question. How else can I stand out during the job search?
So if there is one word here, it's going to be network, network, network. Networking is so important as it relates to a job search. It's going to be that foundation you lay down for a successful job search. And a couple benefits of networking, once you're talking to someone in a role that maybe you're interested in, you're going to really understand the requirements of that role. What skills are required? How can I leverage the skills I already have to better articulate that I'm a good fit for that role? You can also maybe even get a referral, right? You're having this informational meeting with someone, you're learning about them, but also advocate for yourself again. Show off like, hey, I got these skills already. I'm passionate about the role. Here's how I can kind of see myself or transition into that role with my skills. Really great way to get a referral. And then finally, you might also discover maybe there's a skill gap. So maybe I'm really passionate about this role, but maybe I'm lacking in a skill. Great opportunity for you to go on LinkedIn Learning, brush up on that skill.
LinkedIn Learning.
Great opportunity to close that skill gap and really make sure you're set up for success when you're finally talking to recruiters and hiring managers.
Yes.
So bridging that skill gap, I would say, is huge.
Yes. So LinkedIn Learning, obviously go to. We love it for many reasons.
Of course.
But I have a follow-up question on the networking, because I know that can feel a little wonky sometimes, cold, reaching out to people that you don't know. But can you talk about, maybe share a story on when networking over time has really paid off? Because I think when folks initially reach out about networking, they may think it's very instant. And it can be a long-term play to
Totally.
see networking come back around.
100%. So there might be like some delayed gratification there. Fruits of your labor might not harvest the next day. I was able to actually land my first role at LinkedIn through the power of
talk about
networking. I
it.
got you. And it didn't happen overnight either. So after I graduated college, I really wasn't sure what direction I was going to take. I know I wanted a full-time role, but I ended up consulting with my network, which were essentially my friends and family at that time, and talked about my skills and my passions. My sister was like, hey, you could make a really good recruiter. I was like, awesome. Not
Sis
really.
was right.
She was
Sis
right.
was right.
She hit
Look
that
at you
nail.
sitting here now.
Yes. And so I really was like, okay, I'm interested, but I don't really know what a recruiter does. So I asked her if she could introduce me to a recruiter if she knew any. She did. I had that conversation, got to learn more about like a day in the life of a recruiter. I was like, this is awesome. I think I have some skills. But the turning point of that networking conversation, they told me about another role that I didn't even know existed, which was a recruiting coordinator. For those who might be unfamiliar, recruiting coordinator, their job is to provide the best on planet experience, partner with recruiters and hiring managers. And it's a really great role that I already had the skills for, like organization, quick problem solving. Really, I could see myself in that role. And so from that moment, I was able to network with other recruiting coordinators, get to learn more about that role, and eventually use all of those skills and research over time. So when I did finally apply to a recruiting coordinator role here at LinkedIn, I was set up for success without even having any recruiting coordination experience.
Look at that. Full circle. And how
Full
long
circle.
did that take you from when you reached out to when you got
It
the
took
job?
me about 3 to 4 months. So again, it was not an overnight process. I wanted this goal. I wanted to be a recruiting coordinator. I was able to go on LinkedIn, look up other recruiting coordinators on the platform, learn off of their profile, what skills they had, experiences they had. So really just like doing my own research, networking with the people in my network and leveraging those folks, I was really able to set myself up for success long term.
Love it. Love it. Okay, I'm bummed. We're getting to our final question. Any final tips that you may have?
Yeah, so I think whether you're looking for a new role or you're participating in a career pivot, I want you to remember you have the experience, you have those transferable skills, and really it's a matter of maybe just thinking about how you're going to frame your experiences and frame those skills. Doing a little bit of research, networking on LinkedIn, definitely using all of the tools and tips we talked about, that XYZ method. I'm telling you, it works.
I remember that one.
Yes.
2 plus 2 and XYZ.
2
Got
plus
it.
2, that easy. So they all definitely work. And then I think the last part is, again, it might not happen overnight. Stick with it. It's going to happen. I believe in you. You have that experience, and you're going to be set up for success.
Add motivational speaker to your profile.
My skills
It's like,
section. There you go.
There you go. See, look at this. Full circle. Y'all heard it here, but we are not done yet. Y'all are picking up, run that back. Are y'all picking up on all of the themes here today? We're talking skills. Now, y'all peep this video to help you get your skills popping, and don't go anywhere after, because we're getting into your questions from the chat.
All right, here are 4 ways you can stand out by highlighting your skills to match you with jobs on LinkedIn. 1. Start by adding skills to your profile. 2. Provide some context on where you've used those skills in past work experiences. 3. When a job you're interested in pops up, see which skills from your profile match the job description. 4. Stand out to recruiters by demonstrating your skills for specific roles. Add those skills. You've got this.
All right, I hope y'all took note of all of those 4 skills, because Charlie looks at candidate profiles all day, every day, and he can vouch for them all. Charlie, you are no stranger to the show.
No.
So you know what's coming up next with these questions for the chat.
Let's do
okay?
it.
All right, it's time to hear from our amazing audience, starting with Armani. Now we talked about like skills. So how many skills are considered too many on the profile?
Yeah, so I think anything more than like maybe like 40 to like 50 skills could maybe be pushing the
Whoa,
limit. The
you can put that many on your
you can put a
profile?
lot of skills on the profile. I think like 20 to 30 is really going to be that sweet spot number of skills on your profile.
Okay.
Because it's great if you're a jack of all trades and really have those skills, but
Yeah.
really you got to think about what's my end goal? What skills are really going to showcase that I have those skills that are transferable to that job and kind of like specialize myself. So definitely don't be afraid to add those skills, but you really want to make sure it's concise and relative to the jobs that you're looking for.
Okay, so of the 30, how many are you actually going to look at as a recruiter when you go to their profile?
Yeah, I think like anywhere from like 5 to 10. I want to say
Okay,
like a
okay.
good like 5 to 10 is a pretty solid number.
All right, so have a good solid 5 to 10. The other ones can be, you know.
Those secondary skills.
Okay, secondary skills. All right, gotcha. All right, Britt has a question. How can I network with a recruiter or supervisor at a company I want to work with? And you know you're speaking for all recruiters, so answer this,
Yes.
lightly.
So I think a really great way to network with other recruiters on LinkedIn is one, send them a personalized message. You want to really try and get their attention. As you can imagine, a lot of people are reaching out to recruiters. So really like do everything you can to stand out. You've built out that LinkedIn profile, use these tips to stand out. Go ahead and personalize and stand out in that message to a recruiter. And then I think this kind of goes back to that networking piece we talked about earlier. You might not be able to connect with that first recruiter you message, so don't give up. Have some perseverance and keep on messaging different recruiters or hiring managers until you get someone that has the time to talk with you.
Is it okay to follow up with the same recruiter if maybe they hadn't responded?
Yeah, I would say give them a little bit of time. They might be busy, so maybe wait a couple of days, have that personalized follow-up. And again, if they're too busy, no worries, move on to the next recruiter, but definitely feel free to follow up with them because maybe they just missed it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, now Alexa wants to know, how can I find success without a 4-year degree? I'm smart, that's right, teachable, that's right, and talented. Yes, ma'am, you are. I just lack that piece on paper.
Yeah, so I think a great way you can supplement that is by looking at the skills you already have, making sure your LinkedIn profile is built out. If there's any like certifications or any research you can do to, again, like close that skill gap, but also just like networking with other professionals in that role you want. Understand like, hey, do I necessarily need that education, or what else can I use to supplement that? Because I have the skills, I'm smart, I'm talented, I'm ready for it, but what can I do to supplement whatever I might be missing? So I think it's like networking, really knowing the role that you're looking for, and then how you can fill in those gaps. Because it sounds like you are ready to go. She is ready to get that. She's ready to get that job.
Okay. Okay, the next one. How can we know if a company is using ATS, applicant tracking system, or CV in the hiring process?
Yeah, so I think the best way to understand if they're using a CV or that ATS is really just having a universal resume that you can apply to multiple different applicant tracking systems. Sometimes resumes can come in different formats, like a Word document or PDF, and they might get a little funky when they're getting translated in the system. So I would really do some research, understand like the best like universal resume, and that should really cover your bases there when you're applying to different jobs, just to make sure that your application looks as good as possible.
Love that. Straight to it. No follow-up on that, 'cause I was right to it. Okay, next question. Many of the entry-level roles that I'm seeing still list a minimum of years of experience in that job description. Should I still apply to those even if I don't have that amount of experience?
So I think it's really important to definitely, I would say like apply to it, because if you don't apply, then that you're not even trying to like open that door. Like if that door's open, walk through that door. I know I would put your name in the hat. Definitely try and apply for the role, but also see what you can do to supplement maybe that formal experience. Again, going back to those transferable skills, how can you relate previous work experience that might not be direct to try and meet those basic qualifications of a role?
I love that you told it. Just do it. Just
Just
go
do
for
it.
it.
Yep.
Because you don't know, a recruiter may actually schedule a call with you, and if the experience comes up, or you get to speak towards like, well, here are the skills that I have to supplement that. And you kind of get to see how the hiring process and recruiting and what questions they're asking for that job role. So you can kind of start getting into what they're going to be asking of you.
Of course, and maybe you don't know that you have those skills, but really you do. So when a recruiter sees your resume, they're like, oh, this person's great. They actually do have the skills, but maybe you don't realize. So I definitely encourage you to at least apply.
Yes. Oh, y'all got a lot of questions. How much time I got? Okay. Aside from skills, what are the most important sections of the profile to focus on? What do recruiters focus on most when reviewing the profiles?
That is a really great question. I love that. So I have 2 tips here. So one, I love a really detailed about section because I want to learn more about you, what you're passionate about. So that about section, really do the best job you can of filling that in. And then also your experience section. Your LinkedIn profile, again, is this digital portfolio of all of your professional experiences. Your experience, sometimes you can bullet out your work experience, but you can also write about the impact that you had and kind of create stories in that experience section that I know recruiters love to review and love to look at. So I would say really stand out with that about section and that experience section.
And do recruiters look at the personality that people kind of put in there about me? Like, what's the fine line between, I am so-and-so versus, hey, y'all, I'm
Yeah, so I think that is great. And, I think recruiters love to see, hey, is this person a culture ad? Have that personality. We love those, diverse backgrounds, ways of thinking. But it could also maybe depend on the industry you want to be a part of. Maybe you're in an industry that is a little bit more buttoned up. You could be in an industry that you can have a little bit more freedom. You want to be more creative in your about section. So definitely think about the industry you want to apply to or the people that would be reviewing your profile.
I love that. I love all of this. Y'all, the chat is booming, and I got to wrap this up. I'm so sorry. But, send us more questions. We want to make sure y'all are networking in there. Ask each other the questions. Who knows? Maybe someone may have the answer for you. It is a 2-for-1 special today with all this knowledge. We are going out with a bang today, as we like to do here on LinkedIn 101. My girl, Jamae, is going to show y'all how to make your skills pop loud and proud on your profiles, even ones that you may not even know that you had. Over to you, Jamae.
Hey y'all, Jamae here from LinkedIn. Have you ever wondered how to make your profile slap? I've got one word for you: skills. Check it out. When I say skills, I mean everything. I'm talking those hard skills and soft skills. So, where should you put skills on your LinkedIn profile? Everywhere. More skills equals more visibility. Number 1, start by adding the 5 skills you most want to be known for in your About section. Just click on the pencil and add those skills. Think of this like your elevator pitch. What do I immediately want people to know I'm an expert in? Skills flex number 2. Connect the dots on how you got your skills by adding them under your experience section. You can do that. Add relevant skills you developed while on the job, in your internship, volunteering, or even in school. This will help you demonstrate which skills you used for each job or project. Match your skills to an output. And while you're at it, show off projects that you've slayed. It could be designs, research papers, music, a product demo. As I like to say, honey, show those receipts. You do this by adding a section here, click recommended, then add projects. Fill out the project details and then tag the skills you use. And be sure to link the media you created to show off all that magic. Fire, right? Adding skills to your LinkedIn profile not only helps recruiters match your profile to their open positions, but also skills give recruiters a snapshot of what you're capable of at a glance. So don't sleep on your skills. Show them everything that you're made of. Let's go.
Jamae, girl, I could watch you all day. I seen you dancing over there. Y'all heard her. Do not sleep on your skills. I want to thank Charlie Doria for dropping so much knowledge on all of us, even me today, y'all. We are almost wrapped for another episode. Per usual, I've got some reminders for you. Before y'all go, Get out that phone and use your camera and snap this QR code or take down the link and open it in a new browser because we want to hear from you. Please tell us what you think of the show and what you want to hear more of. We want to hear your stories because we want to make sure we're giving y'all the kind of content that you're looking for because your voice matters to us. Also, if you missed anything from today or want to catch up on previous episodes of LinkedIn 101, you know you can access the shows here at the QR code or the link you see on the screen. Thank y'all so much for joining. Remember, I said remember, be unapologetically you. Until next time, I'm Elle. This is LinkedIn 101. Mwah. Love y'all.